These are the three fundamentals that every beginner needs to learn if they want to be good at League of Legends. In order to go from like an absolute beginner into, an intermediate player who actually plays the game, understands the game, can, is very comfortable playing the game, you need to understand these three things. You need to understand how to farm, you need to understand your power spikes, and you need to understand lane control, right? Without these three things, you're basically always going to be a beginner. So if you want to advance in your League of Legends career, you need to understand these three things. So farm, or CS, farming, CSing, is killing these minions. So as you can see, if I stand next to this melee minion, right, it dies, I get a little bit of XP, but I don't get any extra gold. So my passive gold is ticking, but you're going to see as this minion dies, I'm going to go from 154, right, oh, there we go, to 216 in terms of XP. So I'm getting closer to my next level, but I'm not really increasing any gold. You can see that my minion kills, my CS, is the same. Now that I killed it, I actually landed the final blow. This is very important. People don't realize this. They think if they're just hitting the minions, right, it doesn't matter if they're the ones that kill them or not. Crap, there we go. I didn't kill that minion, right? I'm not going to kill this minion. I hit it, but I didn't actually kill it. And people think that that's actually going to give them gold. No, I'm not going to increase in gold. You can see my CS score is still 1, right? If I actually kill the minion, I land that last hit, you can see this plus 14 that pops up. I didn't get anything. Here, if I hit it, there's a plus 14. Casters give you 14. Melee minions give you 21. Oops. There we go, plus 21, right? I'm actually getting gold. And guess what? Gold is very important in this game because that's how you buy your items, right? The more CS you get, the faster you can buy your items, right? The faster you can buy your items, the stronger you get. If you can CS better than your opponent, you're going to finish your item before them, which leads into my second point. The second point is power spikes. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to talk about two different types of power spikes. One is level 6, right? Or just in general, leveling up. There's smaller power spikes, but I'm going to talk about the big one. Level 6. Level 6 unlocks your ultimate. Your ultimate is a huge power spike, especially on certain champions like Syndra, where she can finally look to kill you, like Mordekaiser, where his ultimate is very useful in 1v1. Basically, every single champion really likes having their ultimate. I don't think there's a single champion that hates having their ultimate. There are some champions like Nidalee and Elise where their ultimate isn't as important, like level 6 isn't as important, but for the most part, level 6 is very important. Now, that's one power spike. The other power spike that relates to farming, oops, I did not mean to do that. The other power spike that relates to farming is item power spike. So when you finish a completed item, it is a huge spike in power. So I'm just going to take one item here as an example, Demonic Embrace. So don't worry about the items because the items are changing in a couple weeks, but just see this as an example. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of gold here, right? Demonic Embrace gives me 75 ability power and 350 HP, just as base stats, right? Giant's Belt, the components of these items, actually give me 350 HP, so I'm not getting any extra HP from finishing this item, and 40 plus 20, right? That's 60. So I'm getting 15 extra ability power for 815 gold. That makes no sense. That's horrible, right? I could get 20 more for another 435 or 420, 400 when they change it. But that's not what's important about items. Items passives are amazing, right? The second passive on Demonic Embrace is Dark Pact, which gives me 2% of my bonus health, which is something you want to build on Mundo, so it's a really good item on Mundo at certain situations, as ability power, right? And do I have any abilities that scale with ability power? Well, let's see. Not really. So I guess your recast of your W, so maybe that's not extremely important. But anyways, I digress. It's not about the items. The other thing is it gives you Azakana's Gaze, which deals ability damage, burns over 4 seconds, or over 4 seconds, or for every second for 4 seconds, I'm sorry, for 6% of your max health as magic damage, right? Mundo stacks health. You're going to have like 6,000 HP at some point. You're going to be doing 6%, because you're melee, not ranged. Range is 1%. 6% max health magic damage every second for 4 seconds, every time you deal ability damage to someone. So that's a huge power spike. If I can finish this item, right, and get back into lane, I have increased my power exponentially than just having these two items. So if I'm at 0 gold right now, is there a way to remove gold? I don't think so. If I'm at 0 gold right now, I might not really, I'm powerful, but I haven't hit my spike. the next 815 gold, right? Even if I get 815 and I buy another blasting one, it's not going to be as big a spike as actually buying a full completed item. And if I can do this before my opponent, right? If I'm farming better, I'm going to get more gold, right? Faster as compared to my opponent, which means I'm going to get my power spike first, which means I'm going to be stronger, which means I can kill him, right? Giving me even more gold to buy more items, to push more waves, get more CS, kill his tower, get even more gold, go into his jungle, steal his jungle camps, kill his allies, his other towers. It's a snowball. The more gold you get in League of Legends, the more gold you get. Unlike regular sports where if you score one goal, right? Like if we're playing soccer or football and I score one goal, you still have an equal opportunity to score the second goal, right? If I score 10 goals, you still have the equal opportunity to score one goal. It's not like every time I score a goal, I get an extra player on the field, right? But in League of Legends, every time you get a kill, every time you get a farm lead, you get a tower lead, the more gold you get, you actually get extra items, right? So it's almost having like these extra pseudo players that are buffing you up and giving you more stats than your opponent. So that's why League of Legends is a very snowbally game, because just, even getting one kill early or getting, 10 extra farm CS as compared to your opponent will lead you into power spike, will lead you to snowballing. Now, I talk about CS, and CS numbers is something people often ask. How much should my CS be? Like, what should I get this number to? There's personally, right? So I'm going to give you my own personal goals. I try to hit 10 CS per minute every single game, right? That's what I try to do. That might not be feasible for you, right? You're just starting out the game. You might be getting like 1 CS a minute, right? Like every 2 waves, you're only getting 1 CS. You probably want to improve to get 2 CS per minute, then 3 CS per minute. How do you do that? Well, that's easy. You can lock your XP level, right? You can get rid of, not level up anything. I can erase this, and you can go into a custom game just like this, and you can practice last hitting, right? Don't touch the minion until it's about to die. Now that it's about to die, you can hit it, and just practice. And hopefully your level will go up. Now, obviously, this isn't indicative of a real game, but what it will teach you is just in general how to. I'm not very focused, but I'm very bad at it, as you can see. This will teach you how to CS. Don't use your ability. Don't even level them up, right? The next step can be you level them up and try, but it's usually easier when you have abilities. So in a real game, it'll be a little bit easier. I think a good starting point for someone who's just beginning to like really master their fundamentals is 5 CS per minute, 5 to 6 CS per minute, I think is fine. I think that'll take you to silver, maybe even gold. As long as you understand that, there's a lot of room for improvement. So we talked about farming, which leads into item spikes and power spikes in general, which leads into the next thing, which is lane control, right? What is lane control? It's understanding how your minions work. So I see that my minions are at this tower, right? Which means in about a minute, you're going to see this wave is going to land up at my tower. Why? Because all my minions are dying. The red minions aren't dying. They're going to start pushing, right? They clearly have the advantage. There's more. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minions, which means they're going to kill my minions faster. Reinforcements, red reinforcements only have to walk up to here. My minions, by the time they're here, right? Red minions are already attacking my minions. Reinforcements have already arrived. So my blue minions have to reach even further. So I know that this wave is pushing into me, right? That can be useful to know. You can want that sometimes. Sometimes you don't want that, right? It really, really depends. So understanding how the lane minions work. So apparently all these minions. So I can see blue side. Here, I know that this wave is pushing and it's going to crash into that tower. Why might I want to crash? So we'll get into reasons of why you might want things, right? Why would I want to crash this wave? Well, for various reasons. One, I might want to back. I have gold to spend. I want to buy something, right? When this wave crashes, this isn't really the perfect example to show. Maybe I'll show it over here. So this wave just crashed. Mid lane's a little bit different, but this wave just crashed, right? Which means I know that the next wave, my wave is coming, right? I can show you my wave over here. It's coming. It's going to reach first, and I'm going to hard push this because I want to crash it and back so that I can use my gold without losing any CS. So I don't want the minions, the enemy minions, these red minions, to die while I'm not here, right? I want to be here when they die. because I want to get the XP and I want to get the gold. Excuse my horrible farming. It's hard to talk in CS, right? There we go. I'm not going to get all of them. And now I'm going to back, right? And now this next wave is just right here, right? It's moving slowly. You can actually track it by looking at your minion and mirroring it. So if it's next to this tower, it means theirs is next to their tower. So I just backed. I'm going to buy boots, and I'm going to walk back to lane. And we're going to look 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minions, right? I'm just going to see how many of these minions I'm going to miss, right? I crashed the wave, and now I'm going to make it back into lane. I lost 1 minion. But this wasn't like the perfect crash, so I'm going to lose a little bit more than normally I would. I'm going to lose 2 minions, right? Am I going to lose a third one? Probably not, right? I lost... Oh, I am. That's unlucky. It wasn't a perfect crash, but I lost 3 minions, right? I obviously got in time to get this minion, the gold, and the XP. So let me pause right here and explain why I just did that. I was able to back, buy my item, and only lose 3 CS. If I were to back while these minions are pushing right now, right, we're going to see the difference. If I back right now, I'm going to lose way more minions, right? So let's resume. And I'm going to back, and I'm going to walk back into lane. Let's say I have a lot of gold. This is a very bad time to back. So I'm going to start backing right now. You can see I already lost 1 minion. I'm going to lose this minion as well. And immediately I'm going to start walking back to lane. So I already lost 1 minion. I'm going to lose all these minions, actually. I don't think I'm going to make it back for any of them, because the tower is going to kill both of them, and then my minions, there's a cannon wave. So I lost, that's 3 minions. This is 4. That's 5. That's 6. 7. I'm about to lose 8. I did lose 8. So I lost all those minions that were there. I lost the XP and the gold, right? You don't want to do that. So that's why you want to crash the wave and then back. Sometimes it's not up to you. You took a bad trade, you had to. You're about to get dove. I'm just talking about generalities, right? So what you want to do is you want to crash a wave and then back. There's other lane controls. Talk about freezing. I don't want to really get into freezing right now because it can be a little tricky knowing where exactly, but at least talk about what freezing is. So what is freezing? It's when you keep a lane frozen at a single point. So you see how I crashed the wave and then the wave crashed back into me, and then like the mini wave is never in a certain spot, right? It keeps moving. Either it's like mainly on my side or the enemy side. Freezing is when you keep it at the same spot. And how you do that is by understanding how many extra minions you need. So right now, I'm way closer to my side of the lane than the enemy side of the lane, which means my reinforcements, my minions will come first, which means if I don't do anything, if I don't interfere, my minions will kill the enemy minions and they will start pushing, right? Now let's say it was the opposite situation. Let's say I had 0 minions right now and the enemy had 5 minions, right? Well, then they would crash. Let's say I were to stand right here and I would force the minions to attack me until my minions came, and then I'd let the enemy minions attack my minions. Well, what's going to happen is even though my reinforcements come first and theirs come second, they still have way more minions, right? So having extra minions is going to overcome the fact that my reinforcements come first. And it's going to keep the wave frozen. 5 minutes is a little too many. You probably want like around 3 caster minions, maybe 4, depending on where it is. But why would I even want to freeze it here? Well, think about it. How close am I to my tower? I'm really close. Which means if an enemy wants to CS this minion, he's going to have to walk all the way up here. Easy for me to poke, easy for him to get ganked, super easy for him to die, right? So I might want to freeze it here for a couple waves because I know my jungler is about to come and he's going to kill him. Or I just want, if you've played Dota, this is how you kind of sort of deny the enemy. Maybe the enemy has nothing to do, right? And I'm going to force him so that he misses the experience and the gold. Meanwhile, I'm getting all the experience and the gold, right? So there are reasons to push, right? Maybe you want to get tower plates. There are reasons to freeze. Maybe you want to deny the enemy. Maybe you want to set up a gank for your jungler. So there's reasons to control the lane. But the most important thing to know is that you don't want to miss your CS. So if you're planning on backing, crashing is a very good idea. Try not to back when the wave is crashing onto you. I don't want to go into all. There's a lot that can come, especially the first 4 waves. The first 6 minutes are very important. There's a lot that I can go, and I probably want to make a whole video just on lane control, and I'm sure there's like tons of videos out there already. But the basic thing that I wanted to teach was knowing when to like back, controlling the wave so that when you back, you don't lose much, right? Because it goes back to farming, right? Number one is farming, and everything I talked about relates to farming. So getting high CS numbers is going to give you lane control, right? Because you're going to be stronger, because you're going to hit your power spikes first, because you're going to have more gold to buy more items, to bully the opponent, which means you can control the lane into a place where he's constantly losing and you're constantly winning. So if you took anything out of this, farm. Farm's pretty important. If you enjoyed this video, I do a bunch of guides for beginner players. If you have any suggestions, any questions, leave them in the comments. I also do written versions of these type of guides on Reddit, on the League of Legends subreddit, so you can look at them there if you just want to read. There's no visual on it, so if you prefer reading, then whatever works for you. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. And if you like the video, please give it a like.